What is up, and welcome to another episode of the Miseducation of Music. You are here with J-Treb as always, but today I got a special guest in the building, man. Elijah LeFlore, man, the singer.
Which one I look at? Both
you can
of
look
them?
at either camera.
Yo.
Hey, the editor will cut it, whichever one you look at,
Okay,
bro.
for sure.
But yeah, man, we got the singer. We got 1/6 of New World, man. We're going to talk today about some music, dude. I just want to dive straight into it. Just this project is amazing, dude.
Man, thank you.
Sunset Radio.
Thank you.
Like, what's the whole concept behind this project? It's your first album, correct?
Yeah.
So, man, like this is a big deal.
Yeah.
What's the theme behind it? How'd you get to this headspace on it?
So, first and foremost, all praises due to Allah. You know what I'm saying? For putting that inspiration on my heart. Because I don't think that no thought originates just from us.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like we pull on something.
We pull either from the universe, from things we see. That's kind of how we even get to an original idea. It's the combination of so many energies coming together.
Exactly. So, I was working on this project, and it's crazy because when I first started working with Ro, I was actually trying to formulate a hip hop album.
Hey, shout out to Ro, and this album is not hip hop.
Yeah.
So I'm so interested on how you got here.
Yeah. So I was essentially as I was working on this album, I was essentially making a transition, not away from hip hop, but just making a transition in my artistry. And so I was going through this transformation and trying to find myself again as an artist. Mm-hmm. And I came back from Cali. This is in May. And I hit Ro up, and I was like, yo, booked the session. When I came in, I was like, yo, I'm recording some stuff that probably is gonna sound weird.
It's like, this is not what you're used to. I don't know if you ready yet, but I'm about to do some experimental shit in this booth.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I know I first came here, I was on, traditional 16s. Mm-hmm. That's not what I'm on. He was
I was about to say, like, you threw the structure out the window to make a song like Satin Blue. You have to, who cares about structure? The music is so beautiful.
Yeah, and Ro was like, let's get it. He was like, I was like, for real? He's like,
hey, you came to the right place. Shout out Ro, man. We in the studio right now.
So, that's kind of how it all started. And then right after that, I took a trip with my girl to Cali again, cross country.
So a lot of California vibes. I can definitely see
that's where that sunset comes from.
I mean, the music definitely even like reflects that with the beats.
Exactly. So we took this cross country trip from Atlanta to Cali. And
that's some hours in the car, bro.
Yeah, long hours. I'm talking about I'm doing 15-hour legs. Like, I can drive. I'm built for this.
But I can't drive.
I didn't drove from here to Texas by myself.
Oh bro. I would have fell asleep halfway through, bro.
You give me like a 1 hour nap and I'm good.
That's wild.
1 hour nap and I'm good.
Oh.
But so I'm driving through, Arizona, Cali, and I'm writing this album when I switch off. Even when I'm driving, I'm writing some of the songs like She.
That's one of my favorites right
Atmosphere.
There. That's another good one.
And I'm like, yo, so I'm pondering on like, what should I call this the whole time? And towards the end of the album, I was like, Sunset Radio.
It's like, you on this drive, you getting the album written.
Yeah.
This is a crazy process, even like from my perspective. So like, I never thought about it, but that's got to be the best time to really listen to a beat.
Absolutely.
It's like I'm driving 15 hours and I ain't got nothing
I might as well
else
get
to do.
something, and that keeps me up. Like a lot of the times when I drive,
so you
I
just
write.
keep your brain going the whole time. That's what's up. And then that ties in perfectly. You got your radio playing in the car, and you probably done seen multiple sunsets on this cross-country drive.
Too many of them. And so basically, I was just like, I'm listening to the project, and I'm like, nah, Sunset Radio. That's what I want to call this.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a dope way to create this album. I see how this project means more to like just an EP or even a string of singles. But like, so just to talk about the singles, to lead up to it, you dropped 2 of them.
Right.
Out Her Space. I love wordplay. I'm a huge
Thank
wordplay fan, so that the titling had me all jump. And then you also did Bittersweet. What was the process of picking those as the singles to kind of like lead the Sunset Radio feel or vibe you were trying to create?
So I felt like my first single from the project, I wanted it to be solo. Just to, that's your first impression. So it was like, all right, first single off the project, and he's able to carry his own. Cool, we got that out the way.
Gotta make sure they know.
Exactly.
Hey, this is how I'm coming.
Exactly.
I got the homies, but this is how I'm coming.
Exactly. And Outer Spaces is one of those ones that felt good. It felt like the right thing.
With a
like
great video attached to it as well.
Shout out
man.
to
I
D-Row.
love those vibes. It had almost like an early 2000s vibe when it came to the cuts and the transitions.
Yeah. Shout out to D-Row and Maker Visuals, man. Crazy.
Man, it's so crazy. I watched it again this morning just getting ready for the interview, and I was just like, this is a quality video.
Nothing but quality from him. That's my brother for life, man. He been doing this for a very long time, and he just keeps getting better.
Did he also do the Bittersweet video?
Yeah.
Okay, man, that's crazy too. That one had a whole storyline with it. I loved how you introduced the row feature as almost like that. We sitting in the circle, so when it's his time to talk, like it added so much more to the music. Like you really acted it out there.
Yeah. So what's crazy about that is a little bit about my background. I'm also a screenwriter and a producer. Yeah. So
what?
Yeah, me, D-Row from Maker and China Tang. We all have a production company, and so we have actually have 2 short films under our belt. In a couple awards.
Crazy, bro.
You know what I'm saying? A couple of awards. We trying to get to the Sundance festivals. The
Man,
the
I'm gonna
Oscars
have to
and
do
stuff.
another interview with you just for that too, because that's a whole different lane, man. That's awesome.
So we that was Bittersweet was a collab with all of us again.
That's awesome.
Of course, this time I was heavy in the creation of the storyline, and then D-Row and China just helped bring it to light, man. China's an amazing producer. D-Row's an amazing director.
Y'all made it happen, because I mean, it's like it's so enthralling to watch. It's one of those like, I got to see every part of this. I got to like really get into it. Now I'm like putting the lyrics with the visual, and it just makes it all make so much sense.
I had to, like, that song in particular, I had to make sure that the video brought it to life, because like for me personally, I have my bouts dealing with, mental health, depression, all of that. And some days it's bad, some days it's better. And I know a lot of people deal with a lot of things on a daily basis. And a lot of people, you will walk past and you think they're perfectly fine, and in their head they fighting demons.
It's like, gee, they are for real,
life.
like in their head about the craziest of craziest of situations, and you have zero clue.
Fighting for their life. And a lot of people don't, you would never know. This person smiling in your face, going through turmoil in their head. And so, particularly for my story, it was more so like, I'm really disappointed the childhood version of myself, and battling with that thought, like, am I just a complete total letdown, or
am I living up to the standard that I set for myself when I was 10?
I'm supposed to be in space right now.
Like, man, I was gonna be a superhero, and I'm still like, I'm trying to figure this shit out. Like,
exactly.
And
then Ro just brought up entirely, different dynamic that was needed, and I'm glad he did, because it touched on another.
It definitely, like, it brought a contrast, but at the same time in that same vein of the song.
Exactly, brought everything together, and that's why I chose to kind of do that. The scene that I did, where you talk about like basically the reflection of a self-help meeting, or
almost like a group therapy session.
Group therapy, because just letting you know, like, you're not alone.
Yeah, there's other people sitting here too. And then like the intro to verse, as I said, helps that story so well. Like the way of just how that camera pans to him, and it's like, now you locked in. You're locked into that verse right there. You're actually gonna listen to what he's saying.
Exactly.
It was so dope, man. Now, you talked about how this was almost a reflection of you and your childhood self. I want to kind of dial back to those years. What's the inspiration that got you to even become an artist? I mean, you also said producer, screenwriter. So what came first here? Like, what was the first creative energy to kick it off for you?
Music definitely. When I was younger, I played the violin for a lot of years.
That's what's up. You don't hear about a lot of people playing violin.
Yeah, I played the violin for many years.
What age did you start at?
I can't remember the age, but I was young. I know I was in like
that's crazy.
first or second grade.
That's like a thing where they tell people if you want to play string instruments, it's better to start when you're like young because your fingers aren't trained. And
exactly. And I used to love it. I used to love it until it was time to go outside.
And then
that's when I was like, my mom and dad like, no, you got to practice.
Oh man, I played instruments in grammar school. I know that whole vibe where it's like I don't want to play this instrument just because there's other shit going on.
Like, come on, man, I'm trying to go play football at the park, man.
For me, it was just video. I was like, I'm trying to play my Game Boy right now. I don't want to practice this trumpet. Like,
yeah, bro. I played the trumpet too. I played trumpet for a couple years.
That's what's up.
Played saxophone for like 6 months. I was like, I ain't like
but you touched everything. Woodwind, strings, brass, man, you did it all.
Yeah. I ain't like my teacher for saxophone. So he took I thought I was gonna be a
the music out of it.
That's what happened to trumpet too. I ain't like my last teacher in trumpet. I was like, man, I'm gone. I'm gone.
I'm getting out of here. That's crazy, man. So all of these musical things are what led you to kind of going up to there. Now, what's the point where you decided, like, I'm going to write this verse down? Or, like, I'm going to go ahead and actually create a creative project, you know?
When you bored,
freestyling.
People start freestyling. So my boy Rocco, he ended up coming to our school, transferred in. He was a rapper at the time. Mm-hmm. And then him and a couple of the other homies had this group called QRS. So Muggs would just be freestyling in school. Mm-hmm. And so my cousins, Flood and Bel Air, they had this group.
So this is a family affair. Okay, cool. Yeah. So you just pretty much named the whole group, and this is your family.
We all family.
That's crazy because Bel Air. When I was doing my research, I got caught up on the track with him and Mick Jenkins. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, all of y'all are great. And then I got caught up Strange Fruit on the first project, man. Like my playlist has changed after just doing the research for this episode.
Love, bro. Yeah, so Rocco came to the school, was freestyling every day, so everybody started freestyling. Flood and Bel Air, they had a group called AK-47, and they was doing their thing. And so I'm like, all right, bet everybody freestyling. Let me write a verse. So my first verse I ever wrote was the freestyle to Light Up by Drake off of Thank Me Later.
Okay.
Lying. I'm talking about I'm on that joint lying.
Hey, you got to flex. It's the fake it till you make it.
I was the biggest drug dealer, and I ain't never touched a gram.
I was like, man, I don't even have the scale.
None of that.
I didn't rap so hard.
I ain't never did drugs. Man, look. So I'm like, I'm going off of what I hear. You know,
exactly. I mean, you emulating right now. You're getting into the game. You're just that transition from fan to like actually a player.
Exactly. This the creation. This the origin story. So 2010 come around, I started taking it serious. You know what I'm saying? And to me, some people may not feel like this, but to me, I was trashed in the beginning. I was like this weird, quirky, like my whole alias was the daydreamer. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? People was liking it and caught on to it, but I was just in this space of like, how do I describe myself?
Yeah, you were kind of trying to like put something deeper to the meaning, but it wasn't quite all there yet.
Exactly. So if you go back to like the early mixtapes that I don't mention, Lucid Dreams.
What about like My Genre?
My Genre, yeah, that's all in that.
I'm not gonna lie, hey, you killed it over the cold joint. You killed it over that cold one.
That's one of my favorite verses, but I was still growing in.
That beat is one where you gotta eat on, in my opinion. Like whenever you use a Lauryn Hill chop, you gotta respect. Name of this show is Miseducation of Music for a reason.
Come on now, you gotta show.
You gotta respect.
Call her Doc. Dr. Lauryn Hill.
Especially with that cold summer. And that's why I was like, man, you really eating on here. Like you holding your own bar for bar.
Yeah, had to. And like early on, just being around a bunch of musicians like that and a bunch of like really talented people, you learn you gotta hold your own. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to get in these rooms. And
that's that energy of everybody freestyling. Let me get my written ready and let me practice the
pen. You gotta sell yourself, man. And so I started just taking it serious around 2010, 2012. I was just really ready to go. Of course, trials and tribulations of an artist, the fall off,
Man,
the ups and downs.
I've been doing this for a hot minute.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm really finding, you know what I'm saying, who Elijah LeFlore is. Like my name originally was Eli.
Mhm.
That was just, you know what I'm saying, New World Eli. But then I changed it to Elijah LeFlore. Two reasons. I wanted a new identity, you know what I'm saying, rebranding,
Mhm.
but also that's my government. So if anybody ever tries to sue me for that name, know that you
It's like
can't.
it's not gonna work. Hey, that's
Exactly.
what's up.
That
I
is
never
on my
thought
birth
about that.
certificate.
It's like, look, I'm just out here using my real
Right,
name.
right.
So even if you
Yeah.
trademark it or whatever,
Yeah.
it's still
It's
my
still
name.
mine. You
Hey,
can't
that's
take it
what's
from
up,
me.
man. So that's dope. You kind of came into your own, putting your name to it. Now, like before we get to like the Elijah LeFlore side of it, what were the early inspirations for the sound? So like you said, Drake's thing, Lights.
Yeah.
Was it?
Light Up.
Yeah, Light Up is one you use. So Drake is obviously an inspiration. Who
Yeah.
else were you listening to during this time?
During this time, but my palette was wild.
Hey, that's what I mean. I can hear it. For you to go
Yeah.
from a track like She, or even to hear you when you were on like all the
Yeah.
New World stuff, it's like you can hear that there's a clear like
Yeah.
distinction, and you have a lot of music.
Like my musical upbringing wasn't. I didn't get introduced to hip hop until I was probably like seven,
Oh, okay.
8, maybe even a little bit older. My first introduction was like Bob Marley. My dad listened to Bob Marley, Ray
Man.
Charles a lot. Like
Classics.
Latin music. It's this guy he listens to all the time, Ibrahim Ferrer.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Hey.
I gotta check it out now.
Oh,
Man.
I remember just being a shorty, just vibing, like,
You
hold
just
on,
like,
you know
this
what
is
I'm saying?
music.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
like, hold on, you know what I'm saying? Shoulders get to moving. And my mom, she listened to everything, country, rock, R&B. Like I'm Whitney in the car, Luther for sure, Stevie, Mike,
Oh yeah.
Prince Fanatic.
Man,
But
Prince, man. Whew.
Then on the country end, people don't know about, what's his name? Randy Newman, something like that. Randy Newman, something like that. But he was
Man,
cold.
think
I
know you're talking
I
about.
loved it.
That's what's up, though. You
Dixie
talking like
Chicks.
Randy Newman, like the one who did the Toy Story track?
Is it him? It might be him. No, it's another dude. I don't think it might be him though.
Because I mean, he did have a separate career. He
Yeah.
had tracks like Short People. He had some other stuff.
His
like,
name was Randy though. His
I
name
can't
was
imagine
Randy.
a lot of famous Randys.
Yeah,
I imagine with a simple Google.
Yeah, especially Tennessee. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Going crazy. Who else? Dixie Chicks.
Oh hell yeah, man.
Destiny's Child. Like a lot of it was
everything.
Yeah. So by the time I got introduced to hip hop, that was Hove, NWA. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you had the birth of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I mean, like hip hop
Eric B. Rakim. All of them
is an
was getting
actual
played.
genre that
Yeah.
we can track back to the day.
And my mom listened to all of that. KRS-One. My mom spitting
Oh
verses.
man, love
spitting verses.
KRS-One, bro. Okay, so that's so you had pretty much the basis of so many
Yeah.
different cultures. You were like really in it, like when it comes to the
Yeah.
music. I see
Like-
how that kind of develops into
Exactly.
how we get Elijah LeFlore
Yeah,
today.
because then you start getting some my own takes. You got like Third Eye Blind, Smash.
Oh
Smashing Out,
man,
Backstreet Boys,
Semi Charm kind of
yeah.
life, bro. Come
Yeah,
on.
come on now. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was on all of that.
Dude, man.
Wonderwall,
these are
come
great.
on, Oasis.
Wonderwall,
Yeah,
by
I was-
Oasis. Oh my god,
Yeah.
OAR, man.
Yeah.
All of these bands
That
back in
was
the day.
me. So I definitely just had a lot of music on my palette. And at that time, I was like B.O.B. B.O.B. was out.
I used to download every B.O.B.
Bro.
mixtape.
Bro, he was
Fuck
he
'em,
was
we ball.
bro, he was
Bro, you
hard,
remember
bro.
Satellites, man? He had tracks
Yeah.
everywhere. He was
Yeah.
going stupid. I thank you for being another B.O.B. fan.
Yeah,
it
bro.
was a time period.
No, he had a moment,
He had
bro.
a time period.
He had a
My
moment.
friends will bullshit me to this day and say they always. I was like, bro, y'all used to fuck with this B.O.B., bro.
What's the joint he dropped? His last joint that was like, all right. Then
He
he's
dropped
done
one where
no
like he
genre.
dropped like a flat Earth mixtape, and that's when I had to
Yeah.
go. Hey, bro, I can't be.
I
claiming
didn't even
you.
get to that
I
point.
can't
After
be
no
claiming
genre,
you to that point.
after no genre, I was like,
That was a good one.
yeah. I was like, all right. Because he had me. I was like, he woke.
I'm not gonna lie, man. When I downloaded that fucking We Ball tape, it was immediately like, I need every mixtape you ever got.
Yeah. Dope.
Like-
What was it? Dope. What was the site? Dope Hood?
I don't even remember. I used
Yeah,
to
it
get
was a site.
everything
I used
off
to
either
get
Dat
everything,
Piff.
and I was selling them at the store at school.
Man, I wish I had that hustle.
Yeah, I had
I was
Dope
downloading
Hood,
everything
Dat
off
Piff,
Dat
yes.
Piff, and I was getting stuff off FrostWire and LimeWire. Man, I was building up the whole database.
Your computer was crazy.
Oh, it was done, bro. It was done, bro. It
Yeah.
was done. It's okay. My parents forgave me
Yeah,
at this point.
your joint was shut
Oh,
down.
bro,
They thought
between
you was,
me and my sister, it was game
They
over,
thought you
bro.
was doing the nastiest things on that joint.
Nah, man, it was just a whole bunch of files of Bill Clinton because everybody would fuck up the files and you just get the Bill Clinton. I haven't had sexual relations with this woman. And it's like, bro, I can't believe that you took the time to put a fake album up here with bogus audio.
Because I wonder if they was getting paid from that. It had to be some reason.
I think that's just the birth of the troll.
Yeah,
I think that's really just
I would
like
be angry.
people who was just out there like, I just want to cause chaos. Like, I just want to see the world burn.
That's why I use Dope Hood. I got everything that I needed from Dope Hood.
That's what's up, man.
Dope Hood and Dat Piff.
Yeah, see, I was the Dat Piff kid. Once I finally got off of killing my parents' computer, it was like, Dat Piff.
I still use Dat Piff to this day.
I have it on my phone right now. I was listening to Wale's mixtape About Nothing because I did a sample breakdown about Stevie Wonder. So the breakup song is All I Do by Stevie. So
Dat Piff, they got to get their algorithm right, though. They got to get the site right.
It's not good at all, man.
Like,
if you don't know what you're looking for on there, you're not going to find something good, you know?
You still listening to Shardy Low. Like, I'm looking for Wayne.
They know. Hello, bro. Come on. There's still people who need that in 2022.
Come on, man.
Man, okay. Now, I do want to ask you a question about you being a part of New World. So that's a 6-person group. I don't think I've ever really talked to somebody who's been in a 6-person group.
Yeah.
How did that even work? How did you all end up coming about with just GOATUS and all of this?
So, New World essentially is a collective, right? And we also formed it as a group to come together, like, for the albums. And so GOATUS wanted to. So what GOATUS means is grinding overtime until success.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so we just got together. Like, the first one, we did that in like 2-3 weeks.
2-3 weeks with that many.
Yeah, we was
that
in the
many
basement.
people, man.
Legit.
That is amazing. Yeah. Like, gee, that's so amazing that you all could pull that off in that short amount of time. And when this is, as you said, it's like a lot of family in there. So you all put this whole project together. You all are feeding off that energy. And then there was a 2 dropped.
Yeah, and that one we did at the crib.
Yeah, was like right at the start of the pandemic.
Right. It was literally 2020. We dropped it June 2020.
Yeah, so like recording sessions are probably like this is like beginning pandemic.
Exactly.
So you all even came back together to bring that energy. And I mean, I've listened through both and it holds up. Y'all make great music. Man.
Love, bro. Love.
How is it working with that many people though? How is it when you're making a track and you're trying to find out where to put people or where you fit in a track or how your verse is going to be written?
I feel like for what we did, it was more so like, all right, these people here on this day, and we just was making tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, we was just making tracks.
Is it get in where you fit in situation? Like, hey, I got 32 ready for that one.
Yeah,
nobody else hop right there. Like,
and then it's a verse thing. Like, and you'll know. Like, don't nobody really gotta say like, yeah, my verse ain't the hardest on here. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. Because you want to put out the best. So if you didn't bring your A game, that's that. Like, you got to be able to be confident in yourself and know yourself. Like, nah, that ain't my best work.
Exactly. Because, I mean, I can imagine it would, if you don't come with that energy, it can really cause a lot of ego things. Because when you do have that many people and you got to be like, hey, I got to bow out because I know 4 of y'all was going too hard. That's crazy, man. That's so awesome to put together, like to even just come up with the idea and to execute and then to do it 2 times because getting that many people together is so
it was a
difficult.
task. It was a task
So
for
difficult.
sure. It was a task. I think the second one was it was lucky because me, KO, and Flood was all staying together at the time because of the pandemic. So me and Flood lived together.
And I was like, everybody there is also on Sunset Radio.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was just timing. You know what I'm saying? Timing, getting it done. You know what I'm saying? That'll probably, I ain't gonna say never, but that'll probably be the last album where you would just hear straight like hip hop from me.
Okay, so now I want to talk more about the hip hop transition because GOATUS 2, you're still in that hip hop bag, and then we get Sunset Radio, and when I tell you from Play, I was surprised.
Yeah.
It's just like the energy's so great. What would you call the genre you're kind of floating in now? I mean, besides being just yourself, because it is unique to you. But like,
Call it
where
LeFlore.
do you think you kind of put this? Like, even if you have to describe it with words that might not be a typical genre, you know? Like,
I would say, this sunset music, man.
okay, sunset music.
Sunset
I feel that.
You know, if you had to be specific, and technical, you got some contemporary R&B, you got some traditional R&B, you got some pop, you got some alt rock. You know what I'm saying? Indie rock.
Definitely the alt rock vibes, man. And
yeah.
Second Chance,
that's from the heart for sure.
Oh man, that's a track right there.
Yeah,
like that's one where it's like, what genre is this? It's like this is just Elijah LeFlore. Like,
it's just as I embarked on this album, I just had to tell myself that's kind of why I made the transition from just doing strictly hip hop, because this has always been in me.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to believe in myself, and when it came down to it, I'm like, bro, I'm forcing 16s on tracks that don't need a 16. This is not really from the heart. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm forcing this.
You're
ain't
not
natural.
Trying to figure out where you have a melody somewhere. It's like you're trying to see, can I get this in and get this out before this beat comes back around?
Exactly. Essentially, I'm trying to prove to everybody I can rap. I've done that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
If you need that proof, then go back and listen. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But now it's like, all right, bet. I'm really, anything I write is my story. It's true to me. Whether it's true in that moment or, you know what I'm saying, true forever, because, you know, we forever changing. Yeah. In that moment, that's what I was feeling. And so that's kind of where I'm at now. So some songs you may see a verse, you know what I'm saying, me rapping, because that's how I felt in the moment. But I'm just not going to ever again force 16s on just everything. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be really natural. And I want it to sound good. And it can't sound good if it's forced.
Exactly. I mean, if you're not making the music from the place of like, I'm trying to put something on this art, I'm trying to open up to it, people will notice it on the other side. But like when you do the latter, when you do the opposite, like if you actually put yourself on it, it's so noticeable from the second you hit play.
It's authentic, and people gonna always resonate with the truth.
Definitely.
And so they can tell, like how we hear all the time. And as rapper, you ain't never sold no drugs, bro. I remember you was the backpack kid.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? You was the backpack kid.
It's like you are not the one.
Yeah, you had the long knee-high socks with the cargo shorts and the Griffies. The Griffies.
Nah, man.
With
it's
the
like
polo.
You are not you're not the one.
On,
you
man.
ain't selling these packs, bro.
You had the blonde patch. Come on, bro. With the Chucks on.
I'm seeing people. That's the only reason I'm laughing. So
bro, I'm seeing
actual people right now.
I know you. You've never sold drugs, bro. Your mom is a cop. Your mom is a police officer.
That's so real, though.
She protects the citizens, supposedly.
So real, man. But yeah, man, it's definitely something. You notice when those people are just straight. It's like, dude, you're lying.
Like, come on, you lying. You talking about you catching bodies, bro. You don't have that in you.
It's like, bro, I don't even think you've ever seen a gun. Like,
no, you never.
Whose did you hold for that video?
Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
This is throwing Monopoly money in music videos.
So it's like, people won't automatically resonate on a certain plane, where it's like, if it's the truth, they can feel it. Mm-hmm. The way you even mention it, the way you even sing, the way you even reflect those emotions are going to be so authentic and raw, people can feel it.
That's the artistry of it. That's the paintbrush for a rapper. That's what it is right there. That's the difference between somebody tracing over somebody else's artwork and somebody really pulling out something new on it, man. That's so amazing. Now, to get to this point of you being an artist, like everybody kind of has that, like, I'm an artist now feel behind it. What's your favorite part about that? Like, because I know it's one of those hard things to get to mentally, like to say you're an artist and say this is what I'm doing. Like, you have so many creative bags too, producer and writer. Like,
I would say for me, honestly, now it's not hard. You know what I'm saying? But just because, like I said, I believe in myself and I've accepted that, like, yo, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've went through a lot of trials and tribulations and moments where it was like I wasn't sure about myself. I wasn't sure about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I mediocre? But now I know, and it's like in the most humble way possible. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm capable of.
And that's kind of like that's the best part about all of it. Like just being like, I figured out what I could do through this.
Exactly. I know my value. You know, I know that I can sit in a room. You can put me in a room with anybody, and I'm gonna show up.
It's like I'm
You know
gonna be the one. It's okay. I can do it.
I'm gonna drop 15, 20. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
like it's just.
And I don't even think that comes off as cockiness. That's the humbleness of doing the work.
And it's like I'm gonna always like I say, all praise is due to Allah, because I don't take credit. You know what I'm saying, for any of these thoughts, for any of these ideas, because I had to pull that inspiration from somewhere. I had to pull that inspiration.
You had to be the vessel for it.
Exactly. And so I'm just telling this story. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling my story. I was chosen to live everything that I go through. That's my story.
Man, that's one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it right there. Now, man, what do you got up next? What do you want to tell the people about that's coming up before you get out of here?
Man, just Sunset Radio is coming out. It's here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Get us some streams.
Running it up. And I am working on another project. But keep that on the hush hush.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Hey, we love a secret project, man. Now, every episode, the outro track is always from the artist. So what track do you want to leave them with playing right now?
Let's leave with Atmosphere.
Atmosphere, that's what's up. Hey, you are hearing Atmosphere right now, man. Thank you so much, Elijah, for coming into the podcast, man. Make sure you stream the track. Make sure you also check out more of the podcast, man. We'll be back to another episode next week. We out.
Your touch makes me feel so good. Your